Okay, for those of you who either new or been on a cruise and stuff like that, I want to tell you, this was my first time going on a cruise, and it was my 40th class reunion. And what I'm about to say is that, you know, I'm gonna speak on a parent perspective. I'm gonna speak on a, a negligence situation, and then just common sense. You know, I was on my 40th class on a Carnival Valor, and it was like it was okay until it got to that Saturday after 10 o'clock. And I'm gonna be just as honest. Now, I know when you go on a cruise ship, you're supposed to be, it's a fun thing. You kind of let your kids do what they want to do and stuff. But it was some stuff that was going on. I mean, everybody in the cruise thing was like, well, it happens. Like the ice cream maker. This little boy, he got a cone. He decided he didn't want any ice cream like that. He stuck it back in the thing. One little boy, he didn't want no cone. Yeah, he black. He just put his mouth up under there. Yeah. So it's like they got the adult party, and then they got the kids. That pool was black. But you know how you see the little towel at the bottom? You can see that. And later on that night, it turned green and brown. Carnival told me that they clean the pool out every night by emptying the water and putting it in the sea, and they get fresh seawater. But still, though, it was nasty. So anyway, they had an 80s party, and I was looking forward to it because, hey, I graduated from the 80s, and it was a lot of great music going on and stuff. So I'm like, hey, I enjoy. I got my kids are grown. I'm with my classmates. I can have fun. So around about 10:30 after we left the comedy club, and by the way, the comedian, he was slightly funny. He was funny. But anyway, after we left for the cruise, we went to the 80s. We waited. It was around about 10:45. We get up there on the 9th floor. That's where all the eating and the bars, most of the bars, the eating, and the pool is there. It's 10:45. We seeing kids like 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 10, 11 years, maybe 12 years of age. They up on the deck with us. There's more kids on the deck than it is adults. Kids still in the pool. It's 10. Okay, so I'm thinking, maybe the cruise director is going to go ahead and get the kids out, because it's school night, Oh, they can stay up to 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. I think Carnival, somewhere along the line, it should be like that if it's during school hours. But at summer, no. Because I'm going to tell you where it went wrong. They up there, you got, okay, let me go back. You got minor kids. You got people who graduated. They 18. I get it. You got minor kids that's 12 and under up there. Add a dash, a couple of drunk folks, drinking folks, children, and you gotta, and little security, and you got a mixture for disaster. So me and my classmate, we like, wait a minute now. She said, I'm not feeling this. She said, because, I don't like, being around children, not in this type of atmosphere. So went to the director and stuff, and he's like, yeah, no, this is Carnival's policy. But I think each cruise ship or whatever have a distinction between having fun, or should be having fun, and where the responsibility and the legal responsibility come on. Well, in this case, it wasn't. It was all about fun at any cost or anything. Now, keep in mind that children, especially teens, they usually normal for pranking. Like they'll push somebody in the pool, or, and that particular night, normally the moon will be out. If it was overboard, you can probably see the person. You may not be able to save them, but you can see the person. Well, in this particular situation, it was so dark that it didn't make any sense. So we go up there, and the DJ that was doing it, he really sucked. I mean, he was awful. He started out strong, but white people ain't the only one that made good music. Cameo, what else? I like, what's that diva? Whip It Good. I like that. Don't Turn Around. I love that. That was the 80s. 99 Balloons. That was the 80s. But you got to realize Prince wasn't the only one that made some songs in the 80s. What is that song doing? But that wasn't the only song in the 80s. It's a lot. Play a mixture of stuff. The morning DJ, that's what he did. This one right here, he was doing commercials. When he went to that song on, what is it? Is it Footloose? Oh, I had the time of my life. And he went from downhill. He was playing commercials. So, I went up and told him, and I guess it offended the cruise director. I told him that, he really sucked. He was young anyway, I don't know, but he really sucked. He should have did more research on the 80s before he's, or they appoint him. So the cruise director, they call him Uncle Johnny. He got upset and he started yelling at me, telling me to come on back. Well, I'm on maritime law. I am not about to argue with this man. No, you're not finna we not doing it. We not doing it. I don't argue with nobody on land. What makes you think I'm gonna argue with somebody at sea? So anyway, so I said, you know what? Let me go to my room. We go to the room. We can't even get up in the room, first of all. The elevator, it was wet. It smelled like a little dirt with just a hint of pee. Couldn't do that. I said, you know what? Let me take the stairs. Couldn't take the stairs. Everybody, all them teenagers was sitting on the stairs, sitting across each other, playing games. Then when you say, excuse me, they looking at you, didn't want to move or whatever. So get in my room. Like I said, we get in the room. I get in my room. I had a balcony, and Aquanta, she had a balcony, and a lot of my classmates had a balcony. So we get up in the room, and all you hear was boom, 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 blah, 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 blah. Boom, 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 blah, 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 blah. They beating on people's doors, beating on people's doors and running. They did this until 2:30, 3 o'clock. That's all you heard. Boom, 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 blah, 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 blah. Boom, 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 blah, 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 blah. Where the parents at? I come to find out when I woke up that morning around about 4 that everybody on the 6th floor, 8th floor, that's all they heard. And some, I don't think on the 9th, but on the 6th and 7th floor, that's all you heard. That's all you heard. It was children all night long. You heard them laughing and giggling, and they were loud and everything. So I get up the next morning, and I went to the guest services, and I told them what happened and stuff and everything. And there was a lot of parents looking for their children, their teenagers. Wasn't at the room. They hadn't been in there all last night. Well, come on. I'm thinking to myself now, if you getting up looking for your child at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, the next morning, and that's a teenager and you don't know where he is, that says a lot about you being a parent. That says a whole lot. Ain't no way. When I went up in that room and I didn't see her, oh, they would have had to stop that ship. They would have had to stop it. But that's just me. So anyway, I'm like, okay. So we ended up, after we did that, there's an event going on. Well, I guess because I told the DJ that he sucked. I think that cruise director, his name is Uncle Johnny. That's what he called himself. I guess he got took it personal. And so when I went to him the next day, I was like, hey, what is your name and everything? I'm thinking he going to say, I'm sorry, ma'am, blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's Uncle Johnny. I said, well, he had a little attitude. Okay, well, I'll just call Carnival and let him know what, Uncle Johnny. Okay, no problem. So I had my little fun. That next morning, I got up again. I was kind of a little nauseated. I don't think I was nauseated from the ship because I had been taking some for that. I think I was just nauseated because, being a diabetic, I do get nauseated for no reason at all. So I had signed up for Express because I was like, no, I don't want to wait. I want, Saturday night wasn't good. Sunday was okay. Let me just go and get off the ship. So I ended up, I was in the lobby. Well, a lot of people was in the lobby. A lot of them was in the lobby. And Uncle Johnny came down there and said, hey, I said it over the loudspeaker that what you supposed to do, y'all got to get out the lobby. Y'all just got to go. Just go anywhere. So he was telling people, if you diamond, you need to go here in that auditorium. If you're here, you need to go in this auditorium. So I'm just sitting here now. I'm sick. I said, at this point, I'm like, you know what? You can't find medical. The doctor's never there. I don't even know who the doctor was. And I called one time for like 4 hours after 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. He's nowhere to be found. So I'm like, okay, I need to, if I'm going to get sick, let me get sick off this boat. Let me go have medical come off this boat, not while I'm on it. Everybody telling you to go, you sick, go to guest services. You sick, go to guest services. Well, the doctors ain't here, go to guest services. Guest services can do only so much. So, sitting up here, I'm getting lightheaded. Let me go on and sit down. I'm sitting down in the lobby. I'm not leaving. I'm not going somewhere where I'm not putting myself in a situation like that. Well, Uncle Johnny felt that I guess he didn't want to come and ask me what kind of medical emergency I'm having. I told him I was a diabetic. I always keep me a diabetic bracelet on me. He decided I guess he was telling somebody with a white shirt. He was telling somebody with a white shirt about me because he looking at me and talking about me. So I said, well, they finna call security on me. I got up, went to security. I said, excuse me, sir. I told him my name. I said, this Uncle Johnny got finna call security on me. I'm a diabetic. I said, I'm getting a little lightheaded, and I was sitting down over there. I don't know what's going on. Security said, I'm sorry to hear that. He said, no, you sit down. Do you need a wheelchair? Right now, I don't know. I said, well, but right now, I just know that I'm about to be sick. I want to get off this boat. Y'all don't have a doctor like that. He said, do you need any water? That was the first time since I got in that lobby that somebody acts like they really cared about my health. That director didn't come back. He didn't ask nothing. He yelling and telling everybody, well, you should have listened to my announcements over there. Come on now, you deal with customer service. A lot of people, can't hear. A lot of people, because I met a deaf couple. The man can hear, he had a hearing aid, but the woman, she couldn't hear. But she can, but at some point, he, the way he talked to people, he should have said, you know what, I made it over the loudspeaker. Maybe you didn't hear it, but we're doing it this way. The express was how they got express. If you don't want the people to come and get your luggage, you just at 7 o'clock, you can just leave the ship. That was it. You can just, so everybody was down there in the lobby, and he should at least gave them, he should have just let them stay there, because when 7 o'clock came, everybody cleared their ship. Everybody that wanted to. So why you gonna tell them to go in the auditorium and stuff like that? You should have said, if y'all here for the 7 o'clock thing, don't cover the lobby. If you can of go to the side a little bit, because we finna start. We gonna be calling people by day. It's the way you talk to people. So anyway, sat there for a few minutes. I said, you know what? I got to get off this ship. I got to. So I slowly got off the ship with my luggage. I took breaks during this long thing. I took breaks at, Oh, Uncle Johnny, he did call medical, but he didn't call a follow-up. He just, hey, is anybody in medical? You didn't hear nobody say nothing. He just walked on out. So I'm going to say this. Overall, I give Carnival out of a 10 or 5. What really blew it was Saturday and that Uncle Johnny. But I'm going to tell you, the rest of the crew, they're very nice. They didn't deserve. Saturday night, he should have did better, because they didn't. What happened Saturday, it shouldn't have happened on any ship. And a company should have, especially if you're on board, you're supposed to have control over anything and everything that goes on. And, they had some clubs, like even in the daytime, it's open, but it's not nobody in there. You fail to realize rapists, murderers, people who pedophiles, they take vacation too. And that was space and opportunity there. And I'm so disappointed in Carnival. I am. I needed a needle thing to put my needle. They were supposed to have it in my room. They didn't have it. And what if I had to make a makeshift? And what if one of them needles fell out, and then, he didn't vacuum good, or he didn't vacuum and caught that thing, or anything can happen. I think Carnival could have did a lot better. But that's just me. I want to take another cruise because I enjoyed it and everything, but as far as going back on Carnival, and I'm gonna be honest with you now, I didn't go and get a cheap room or anything else. I was getting it for me and a friend, and she reneged on me at the last moment. But I want to tell you, I didn't go cheap with what I had to do, because I got to see the sea in the morning, the sunset, the sunrise. I got to see things, and that's something that not, being in the lower deck, or if you used to seeing that and you going, I can understand that, but I would love that experience. Even if I saw it 1,000,000 times, I would still love that. But, had I, this was supposed to be my introduction to see, so that I could come back and tell everybody what's going on. Plus, I was going to try an excursion. I didn't do too much. I just shopped, but, and shopped for souvenirs, because I wanted to get my feet wet, so that when my partner, we probably get a higher suite and go like on the 8th or the 9th floor. We probably have a lot of stuff and do a lot of stuff. Not cheap, the ones that go through Carnival. Because keep in mind, if you do stuff outside of Carnival, and you late, that boat will leave you. But if you do it through Carnival, and I witnessed that, Carnival don't leave their people. If you book their excursions through them, it may be a little bit more pricey, but peace of mind is more important than price. Especially if you're going to another country and you trying to enjoy yourself, and save up for it or whatever, and you don't want to be left off the boat. So that's just my opinion with Carnival.